r/AskReddit, what hobbies instantly makes a person undateable? And then films them and puts them on the internet as hilarious pranks. To me personally, it'd be someone who argues for fun or to win. The lawyer type of person whose hobby is getting into arguments online and winning them. In my experience, that's the most exhausting type of person there is. That's my husband since he started getting into politics in 2016. Nightmare. The rage when you just go we are at an impasse and refuse to continue the discussion. Isn't that 90% of Reddit? A person who collects serial killers collectibles. I only collect serial killers. Celebrity worship. I sort of treat this as a non-hobby, and not having any hobbies is a red flag of itself. Social media influencer. I collect spores, molds and fungus. Dated one. Do not recommend if you don't like to take pictures all day. Influencer that only has pranks for content. Ugh, this. Some of the worst types of people are influencers. Gambling is a big no. This. Realistically, most people are not gonna date someone who's obviously portraying themselves as a genuine psychopath, which is what some of these replies are. LOL, imo, the biggest red flag hobby is gambling. I work around a lot of gamblers and it's genuinely insane how much they drop on that shit. If I got all of the money that they spent on nothing from just 1 week of them doing it, I could probably buy a decent car with cash up front. Reddit moderator. And admins because they are allowing it. There was a sad post in one of the relationships sub by a guy whose wife was becoming more and more obsessed with modding a bunch of Reddit subs. Could have been fake of course, but around the same time there was a crazy mod on several subs geared towards women who went ban happy and banned people for commenting on subs they didn't like. I am Spanish, and anyone who is a bullfighting fan is instant no for me. I can't even fathom how someone would enjoy seeing an animal suffer this way. Well, suffer in general. Listen. Do you smell something? It's not so much the hobby itself, but how someone engages in it that might affect their dating prospects. Hobbies like extreme gaming, obsessive collecting, or activities that consume all their time without leaving room for a partner can make someone appear undateable. It's all about balance and being able to share interests with a potential partner. So basically, when it goes from being a hobby to an obsession? Extreme gaming. Like whilst paragliding. Smoking. I can't stand a woman who's leaving in the middle of the party to check on her brisket. Are you kidding me? A woman with a brisket could literally lure me into a trap like a cartoon mouse with cheese. Hey, if she smokes, she pokes her meat with a fork to see if it's done. I dated a smoker once. Same deal. She would have gone out in a blizzard just to get a bit of aromatic wood. They had us in the first half. People who smoke weed that make it their whole personality. I'm terrified beyond the capacity for rational thought. But they always swear it's not and they can stop anytime. Ugh, never again. Dated a guy who sold weed. Shit got so boring so fast because all he wanted to do every day was smoke and watch TV. And then if you say you don't really like weed, these kinds of people will insist that you just haven't found the right strain. Fuck off. Dog fighting. Social media influencer. Someone who has a lot of pets but doesn't take proper care of them. Anyone who actually enjoys Monopoly. My former sister-in-law cycled through pets like it was a hobby. Never keeping one for more than a year before dumping it on family or whoever would take them and mostly neglecting them while she had them. It was aggravating to watch. Many were expensive purebred dog breeds too. I enjoy Monopoly. Any hobby that one is arrogant and gatekeeping about. Crystals, Warhammer, plants, whatever it is, if liking it is a requirement of our being friends or partners then I'm out. I want to experience your passion for it, not be judged for my ignorance of it. Is there much gatekeeping or arrogance in Warhammer? I've dated several gamers. I have zero issue with gaming itself except for one person I dated who would constantly scream and rage at the top of their lungs while playing. They seemed to be confused when I'd be like, hey, screaming obscenities at the top of your lungs in my home isn't cool, stop it, because they were like, it's just catharsis, I don't mean it. I don't care. We are grown-ass people. When someone asks if you are a god, cathart thyself elsewhere. Drinking heavily as a daily hobby pretty much does it for me. Flat earther. New earth creationist. Excessive reality TV consumer. Stalking then kidnapping unsuspecting travelers in an attempt to get a large sum of money from their families just to ultimately kill them regardless after the money has been secured. Those types of people give the best blowjobs though, in my dating experience. That seems more than just a hobby. Spending too much on luxury things. If shopping is a hobby, that's at least a yellow flag. I value financial responsibility. I'd run away fast from someone who collects Nazi memorabilia. Collecting Soviet memorabilia would definitely be a red flag. Collecting Chinese memorabilia would be a red flag that deserves a gold star. I think this building should be condemned. There's serious metal fatigue in all the load-bearing members, the wiring is substandard, it's completely inadequate for our power needs, and the neighborhood is like a demilitarized zone. I do not have a problem with the animal, but I've had some weird experiences with men who have pit bulls. So, that. Same but for the lady types. I think a specific type of personality looks for things that represent a certain outward persona. Same. Too many people who go get a pity because they think it makes them look tough. None. I don't really care what hobbies someone has, but they've got to have something they're interested in. People with no hobbies at all that just live to work are boring. PPL with no hobbies are unless they legitimately are working and taking care of kids and stuff. PPL with no hobbies camp out at your house expecting you to entertain them, and I just can't. Finally. Someone said it. I've been scrolling forever. Obsessing about pop/reality entertainment. I mean, is it that different from guys who obsess over sports stars? Like, obviously you can take it way too far, but if someone knows all of LeBron's stats, how is that any different from being able to name all the Taylor Swift albums? Phew. I was relieved to see crocheting and knitting not on the list. My husband calls it my granny activities. But it's fun. I make blankets and hats for the children's hospital and family and friends. Let's show this prehistoric bitch how we do things downtown. Knitting, quilting, etc. are the female equivalent of Warhammer 40k model building. If they trophy hunt. I don't mind if you do enjoy hunting and bring home meat to eat, but those that just do it to mount a head on a wall, they disgust me and are immediately off my list. Warhammer. Not because the hobby itself is cringe, but because they can't afford to go on dates anymore. This one hurt me. More for my pile of gray shame. To be fair, I only got back into it because my GF loves puzzles and I can't stand them, but I wanted something that I could do next to her together. Worked out. I do Warhammer. And I agree. I don't have the money nor the time required for dating. Funko Pop collecting. I'm curious if your inbox is blowing up. Stock/Bitcoin. A lot of those guys are so obsessed with it, it's unhealthy. I have 0.26 shares of Apple. Let me tell you about it. I'm big into index funds, but just for the thrills and excitement. Anyone who loves pranks, where pranks aren't meant for everyone to laugh but are in fact intended to harm, embarrass, or inspire true fear in someone else. 99% of so-called investors are simply gambling addicts, and the whole investor attitude is there to justify their uncontrollable behavior. Someone who collects Stanley Cups/tumblers. I'm married now, but one of my few rules was to not pursue women that were into horses. Horse girl is basically car guy. It's so much work to maintain. Watching gore videos. Poaching endangered animals. People who are into rage-bait political entertainment. For me, it's astrology. No astrologist would want to date me anyways because I happen to be born during shit star placement. Same. I once pissed off a girl I was flirting with because I stated that Mars being in retrograde is an optical illusion. She did love how noble my signs are though. Fire baby. Triggering people. So bullies who say it was just a joke. Right there with you. Purposefully making other people's days worse. Harm to others and animals. Traveling. Now hear me out, I enjoy traveling, but those who make their summer in Southeast Asia their entire personality are generally insufferable. I shortly dated a girl who goes to Cuba twice a year. She could barely afford it, and it was pretty much her entire personality. I opted out of going with her. It's only like $5,000 per trip, come on. A Disney adult. Hello everyone. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to humbly ask you to subscribe to the channel. According to my statistics, 100% of my viewers in the past 28 days are not subscribed. I have always wanted this channel to reach 1,000 subscribers, and if you want to support and be a part of that, subscribe. It's free and it's an awesome way to support the channel. Thanks again, Reddit glitch out.